I got another. It's Christmas time, so I got my hat on here. This is going to be a real short one. Just bear with me, guys. And you'll notice that if you search Eureka Springs portal, give me a cigarette here, because I'm kind of betraying myself and some other, well, gatekeepers or portal wardens or whatever you want to call us. But I'm afraid that I might not be able to get this information out to you for, reasons that, they might want to get rid of me for some reason or another, or something happens, something because of the other research and, debaucheries that I'm involved with deep state watchdogs and stuff. That's nothing to do with my past lives or my metaphysical dealings and magical workings and stuff like that, or whatever you want to call it. It all really ties together in one big ball of shit, if you want to know the truth. But yeah. Anyway, this is my quadrant here in northwest Arkansas, around all the pyramids up here, and what we call the mounds. What we call these mounds, pyramids. There's big ones and little ones, but there's a lot of stuff I'm not going to tell you ever, that nobody needs to know. Nobody probably will ever figure it out either, so just don't worry about it. But see that picture? Okay, so this is my confession, and I've known about myself since I was 11 years old, and started studying, digging through books, trying to find answers to why I knew about this, and I could talk to these people that were walking around Eureka Springs that nobody else could see. But I don't have that problem. I don't have that problem anymore. But you guys, this is proof, evidence of the mud flood. The reporters at the time, 11 years ago, was about the time I was activating and cleansing these springs, vortexes, if you will, here in Eureka Springs, because somebody had contaminated them. And I thought it was a good idea to start the process early. So it's kind of my fault, everything that's going on right now. But you guys have a Merry Christmas, for whatever that means to you. And we're going to be lucky if we fucking make it out the other side of this whole deal with our humanity intact anyway. But that's what was intended for everyone at the time. So I don't really regret it. Part of me does, and my conscience is fighting with my stern other personalities and whatever else is possessing me. You fucker. Here we go, guys. Brace yourselves, motherfuckers. The mud flood. You thought it was all fake. didn't you? Fuck.
Get paid thousands of dollars back on your tax return simply by switching to solar power. But this program is first
known for its quirks, its old town charm, and the occasional haunt.
But as 4029's Melissa quickly found out what lies beneath Eureka Springs that's raising eyebrows and causing some serious concerns.
We came over here 25 years ago when we got married for our honeymoon, and this is our 25th anniversary, so we came
today.
Eureka Springs is a place of nostalgia for Charlie and Kay Miller.
I love plants and gardens, so this is a perfect place to be.
The sights of the old Victorian town draw thousands of tourists a year.
This is just really, to me, a unique town.
But perhaps the most unique part of the town is a part you can't see.
We're right underneath the courthouse. Right up there are the county offices and the city offices. And underneath here is the tunnel system that runs all through town. And right now it's causing the town some trouble.
When Eureka Springs was booming, a creek ran through town, and it was a muddy mess. Turn-of-the-century pictures show a mud flow running right down Main Street. After several fires destroyed the town, city leaders decided to rebuild and get rid of the mud problem at the same time. They did that by rebuilding over the creek. They covered it with a tunnel and then built buildings on top of the tunnel. Then other tunnels were added to even out the rest of the town, in essence, raising the street level by about 20 feet. So in some of the old buildings, what was the first floor in the 1800s is now a basement.
This was at that time the first floor, yes. And we think the front door was right there. You can see how the rockwork's kind of patched in.
Linda Bridwell owns the Grand Central Hotel. It was built in 1883, right about the time the city was building the tunnels and raising the street level.
This is the original rock and mortar from 1883.
When you open this door, it leads to a secondary tunnel system. Above is the sidewalk. At one time, it was a basement escape route.
It was also, the tunnels had a lot more purpose. Also, I'm told it was a wonderful secret passageway from building to building. And I'm told that Jesse James was a hid out in there, and that the mafia, they used it as a getaway in the 20s. And so the tunnels are pretty interesting, have a lot of history.
Underground Eureka has a lot of history, but Mayor Dana Joy has some very modern-day questions about the tunnels.
You're looking at a system that was put in the 1880s, early 1890s. It has not really needed any repair until we had the storms that came through a couple of years ago.
Parts of the tunnels are shifting and collapsing.
The issue that we're having is that the city never had easement rights to do work under that property. It actually belongs to private property owners.
This particular problem outside the auditorium is the county's responsibility, but other areas are in question.
You know, it's always an issue. You don't want to have anything to be unstable.
Right now, engineers are trying to figure out how much it would cost to fix the tunnels.
That's the million-dollar question.
Stabilizing the tunnels would make many business owners and the mayor feel a lot safer.
So your office, you're sitting on the tunnel.
I'm sitting on the tunnel.
Does that creep you out ever?
There's actually a hatch in my floor that's under the carpet that gets into the tunnel.
So if you ever needed to escape quickly, you could just skip the hatch.
I've never needed to escape that bad.
For now, Eureka will continue to be an escape for tourists who enjoy a walk through the historic city, but never realize the history that lies beneath their feet. In Eureka Springs, Melissa Kelly, 4029 News.
Right now, the city offers a partial tour of the underground parts of Eureka Springs, but it's too unsafe and unstable to show the entire system.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah, so I will leave it up to you guys to Niven, a really great researcher, and Niven, we're synchronized because you're from whether you know it or not. You know, a lot of you guys are from where I'm from, but you don't realize it yet. I've had the unfortunate case of being aware of this situation for a long time, and that's why I drowned myself in alcohol and marijuana, whatever women I could squander for many years until they tried to pull the fast one. You know, I let them think that they had contained me for once in this realm. But I am not contained any longer. And neither are my brethren. And when they wake up to fully realize what is going on and what they are supposed to do, everyone else is in for one hell of a wake-up call. The biggest fucking surprise of any of your lives and it's going to be how you say glorious. Glorious. Many of you might wake up and see this video. Many of you might not see this video and still find a way to come to your senses. The forced amnesia that we've all been subjected to. If you're listening to my voice now, then you've officially stepped consciously into, well, breaking that veil of amnesia, you know, and something has just clicked in your brain that might have clicked a long time ago and many times before, but the machine didn't have all the parts that it didn't. The cogs didn't turn what they were supposed to be turning, but they were turning, and you knew they were turning, but you didn't know what for, because it didn't fully operate correctly. But now you have the final cogwheel, the final gear to your Anchor mechanism. So with that, guys, the information drops will continue, and you will see more and more on a scale multiplying every day, just like our technology does, until you are fully awake and fully aware of what must be done. I was never meant for this job. My job was to protect my quadrant, and my other comrades had fallen, and I was left to hide, in a sense, and construct my own gateway here. So, unfortunately, there is no running water, but there is underneath the ground quite a ways, below me. If you understand what I'm talking about. Y'all have a Merry fucking Christmas, man. And you know, may it be our last Christmas, the last Christmas you remember to be, you know, a Christmas like back in our youth, you know, where there was happiness at a time. There was no fear of things that you had to be scared of inhaling while you were. For God's sakes, people, the school kids are wearing masks as they walk to school here in the fresh morning air in the Ozarks, tucked away in you realize how many miles of woodland and rolling hills you have to go through to get to where fucking I'm sitting right here. And they've got these people here afraid they're gonna inhale some biological that's going to kill them on their way to school, walking down in this air. And if you guys live in the city and have never fucking been out to the countryside, the real country, you know, out here in the Ozarks, where everything is fucking green, and wherever you walk, there's a canopy of trees above your head. If you've never been out in the woods like that, if you've never been to the springs, to the vortexes, to places like Lost Valley and Roaring River, where millions of gallons of water gush out of a hole in the side of a mountain, and fuck, I'm not gonna let this place fall. You will not take it from me. I will never surrender. I will never give up. You motherfuckers that did this to us are gonna pay. You're gonna pay for eternity. And you're gonna regret ever fucking setting foot on this planet.